Hi guys, I'm Wes. We do have some bad news. Literally just 3 hours ago from the time that I'm recording this right now, there has been an American expat that has arrived in eastern Mindanao, and he has been fatally shot and pronounced dead at the scene of the crime shortly after arriving. This happened in eastern Mindanao in a location called Trento, which is in Agusan del Sur. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. It is a location that has been known for crime, but it is not all that common compared to a lot of other areas within Mindanao, the further to the western regions. However, this crime has stuck out and has made the news quite quickly because of the nationality of the victim. The name of the victim is Ralph Eugene Manacle, and he is an American citizen and he's 56 years of age. My condolences do go out obviously to his family, his relatives and loved ones. This is obviously not something that is expected. You don't think it's going to happen to you, and it does send shockwaves through the expat community that does live here in the Philippines. Especially myself, as I live further west within Mindanao than what he was located, and it's the western regions that are meant to be more common for dangers and occurrences like this. I'm taking all of the information that's been provided by the Brigada News website, which is one of the news outlets that we look at here in the Philippines to get updates and local news. They have basically described that the victim was getting something out of the rear of the vehicle, and he did have 50,000 pesos in cash on him at the time, and the victim was shot in the stomach, and unfortunately he did pass on the scene of the crime. It does obviously appear that the motive was to get the money in the first place, but the question is, how did they know that he had 50,000 pesos on him at the time? Was he spotted taking the money out within a transaction, or was the shooter told in advance that the victim would have cash on him? Or was it completely luck of the draw and an opportunist crime, which has obviously escalated and gone in the very worst way possible for the victim? Mr. Manacle did arrive at that location with his live-in partner, Gerald Caesar, and apparently Gerald did not suspect something like that to happen at all, and apparently the shooter had already passed them at one time and did not seem to be a threat. So perhaps that the money was spotted on the first passing and then the crime was committed on the second. The shooter did leave the scene of the crime immediately on a motorbike, and that will obviously make it very difficult for witnesses and anybody else to find out who they are. They are currently still at large, the police are searching for them, but unless there's CCTV in the area or the person is well known, then it will be very, very difficult for the police to find out who it is exactly. The reason why I'm bringing this to your attention now is not for viewer count or anything like that. It is simply for safety and concern, and obviously as an expat myself here in the Philippines, especially in Mindanao, it obviously needs to be known throughout the community that these kind of things are still happening. I mean, we had Elliot Eastman was captured not so long ago, a couple of months back now, in the Zamboanga region, western Mindanao, and this is on the eastern Mindanao region. So this is for awareness purposes only. Obviously my heart goes out to his family, and it's obviously not something that I'd like to be making a video about in the first place, but awareness is key here. Obviously, because we are perceived as carrying more cash, that means don't carry much cash, right? Even if you do have it, even if you are a bit more wealthy than myself, don't carry it around, don't flaunt it, don't make it known that you have much, don't show off basically. Just live within your means and keep yourself to yourself, stay humble, stay safe. One key point in the Philippines, which is obviously a bad sign compared to the UK, I rave about the Philippines so much, but the fact that the UK is one of the most, if not the most, surveillanced country in the whole world. There's CCTV everywhere, there's cameras in people's cars, there's cameras on people's doorbells, and for any other blind spots there's people with a smartphone. The Philippines is not like that at all. People do have smartphones, but it's often after the fact that they get used. whether that's a motorcycle accident, a vehicle accident, a crime such as this. It doesn't actually show proof, it just shows aftermath. So obviously CCTV throughout the Philippines could definitely be improved to increase the overall security of the area. Although they have guards with guns in most locations, even pharmacies and stores like that, it's just not enough to counterattack on anything to this measure really. Because of that reason, it obviously makes cases like this very difficult to solve. They don't have any visual proof of who it may be. Lots of guns are unregistered. There's a lot of illegal guns that go through the Philippines. So a lot of cases like this do go unsolved. There's a lot of unsolved cases. I don't even believe that Elliot Eastman has still been found yet. I've not heard any updates. That's just one example. Due to lack of CCTV, lack of security in certain areas, it's definitely one of Philippines' downfalls. The issue is as well, obviously, because there's a lot of illegal guns going around, there's not enough enforcement too. If there were stricter requirements, stricter regimes to try to counter the whole gun scene, for lack of a better word, there would be less crimes. Obviously poverty and lack of work is a big reason for these crimes to happen in the first place, and it would lead to eventually more knife crimes. It's a lot easier to do such devastating damage with a gun, and it's a lot quicker than with a knife, and it's a lot more messy. As far as I'm aware so far, based off the Brigada report that I've mentioned in the beginning, there is no CCTV footage that has been found as of yet. Fingers crossed something does get found, perhaps even on a small store like a sari-sari store, or just someone that's positioned on the other side of the road. You never know what it can capture, but fingers crossed they do have some evidence to go off, so it can speed up the operation of investigation. Obviously, I'm not sure how the USA do things, but I would be under the impression that they would intervene to try to get a report and make sense of this whole crime in a swift fashion, especially for loved ones back home. And as he's an American citizen, it plays a big part on tourism and everything else to do with the Philippines. So a quick resolution is definitely in the best interest for both the Philippines and the US. If expats don't feel safe arriving here in the Philippines because they fear that they'll have altercations like this, crime will be aimed in their direction, then tourism just will not happen in a lot of locations where these crimes take place. So it's definitely in the Philippines' best interest to deal with that, as tourism is pretty much the main contributing factor to the economy over here. So guys, obviously I apologise for such bad news like this, and having to bring it to your attention. Obviously it's a horrible topic to go through, and certainly I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this to share and spread awareness, so people know what's happening. Even in the slightly safer areas of Mindanao, some of these things do happen, and they are happening to expats directly. So please, obviously, stay safe, keep your head on a swivel, keep your cash out of your pocket, keep it in safe places, and please just stay alert. Make sure you are with people that you feel safe, that you know certain areas, and just do as best as you can to put your back against the wall and not have people come behind you. So I hope in some way I've tried to help out and I've spread some awareness, but I'm just going to wrap this up now. But yeah, if I have any updates on this topic, I'll be sure to let you know. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Take care and stay safe.